the Parley alongside 15-year NBA veteran Kendall Gill. And we in season 4, KG.
Yes.
And in season 4, we are guest heavy. And our first guest here today that we're going to introduce you guys to is Mario the Ghost Herrera. Mario, welcome into the Parley, man.
How's it going, my man?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're glad to have you here. And today we're here to talk about your career, what's going on in your career in boxing, of course, and how do you feel about the sport of boxing itself. So we're happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here too. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to be here and let me show out, I guess we can say.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mario, we'll start obviously with the first question here. You're 6-0.
Yep.
You fight at middleweight and at super middleweight is what you were mentioning to us off camera. First, how did you get into boxing? How'd that happen?
So of course everybody has that story of I love to fight and stuff like that. So here I am, 6-0 after having 21 plus fights in the amateur career. I actually, I was in high school. My strength conditioning coach in high school, he took me to a boxing gym down in Palatine. It was called Rumimaki. I don't know if they're still up and running. And from there, I kind of just started. I kind of stuck to the sport. He saw how much of a fighter I was. Cussing at kids and just being I guess we could say being a bully, but really I was never a bully. People would just like to pick on me. I came from the city, moved to Skokie, north suburbs. You get all kinds of kids. I was trying to, people tried bullying me, and I was never going. You got the wrong kid.
You weren't having it.
So I grew up and I was always mean. I was tough. You see the violence in Chicago, but like I said, I stuck to the sport once. My strength conditioning coach down at Niles West took me to a boxing gym. So now, just a matter of getting with the right people to get me to the top level, because I'm at the top level, but there's always a higher level, People always tell me, and I always tell people, there's levels to this stuff,
right? Yeah.
Because there really is.
Yeah. Now you had very successful amateur career, but you weren't able to compete in nationals. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and why you weren't able to compete?
Yeah, so, of course, after 2019 winning the Chicago Golden Gloves, the next step is to fight the National Golden Gloves. COVID happened. COVID ruined, and I wouldn't say ruined everybody's, lifestyle or career, but it also helped, because it helped me, become, a pro athlete in the sport, went down to Columbia and turned pro. But with the Nationals, I've always wished to fight Nationals and make make a name for myself nationwide,
Yeah.
But now I have to make my name at the pro level and show the people what I'm really about.
Okay.
Yeah, we talk about boxers and how they come up. Everybody has their AAAs of the sport. The amateurs. Right. You as you mentioned with the amateurs, you didn't have a long amateur career. You said right.
Right.
Do you think that affects you now as a pro, or do you feel like it doesn't matter to you?
I don't think it's gonna affect me. It does give me a little bit of a step back in the sense of seeing different styles of fighters. But at the end of the day, somebody like me, I can adjust, I've adjusted many things in my life. Why can I not adjust to something that I love to do? Now I could get paid for it, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can sit here and I can fight, we can sit there, we can bang, whatever it is, boxing is boxing, that's why you got to love the sport, it's art.
Right.
I'm the artist here, I like to paint, I like to do my thing, it's my canvas,
Mm-hmm.
So, I wouldn't say it's going to affect me, but it'll give me a little bit of a step back. But, with the right training, that I'm doing and the right people behind me, I think they'll get me to the level where I need to be.
Yeah. So what's your style? You a boxer puncher, or you a brawler, or you just a boxer? So that all the fans out here can when they do eventually see you fight, what can they look forward to? What type of style do you bring to the table?
Everybody knows the style Mexican boxer. I like to bang, right, like I said, but we're more of the counter puncher. I want you to counter off my jab so I can counter you back.
What about Marcus?
Yeah, you can do that. You can look at Roberto Duran,
Sugar
Ray,
Sugar Ray Leonard. Look at all these guys back in the day.
Right.
Like I said, like I told you guys off camera. A lot of these guys, hit off pads and don't know the range and don't know what distance is.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what the true sport can be done in it.
Yeah. And you're 6-0 now. 6-0 as a pro, undefeated. You just had a fight, I believe, last week in Iowa. You were talking about. How do you feel the competition has been at the beginning of your career as a pro?
Man, honestly, it was a little different. All of my fights, they were overseas. Back in Iowa last week, it was my USA debut. That was, I would say, I think 6-7 month layover after, getting in the ring because, like I told you guys, it's tough trying to get fights in the States in the sense of paying guys the X amount of money that they want for a 4-round fight, 6-round fight. They're asking for all this crazy money, but really they don't have nothing behind them to prove that they're worth that money.
Yeah.
But man, I felt great. I got the first round knockout. Guy was tough. He had a MMA background, so I know he could sit there, he could take hits, but I had to do my thing, keep the pressure, and I was able to stop him. He didn't want no smoke. He didn't want no smoke.
Yeah, so saying that, his style, I noticed that looking at your Instagram page and everything, that you've trained at Mayweather Gym. What type of fighters did you work with out there? Did you see all different types of styles out there? How did you start training out there for the short period of time that you went out there, and what did you get from that gym?
I don't know if I can sit here and say I got a lot because I went down there and I was able to train with a trainer. Like I said, a lot of these fighters, they all train the same way. They hit the bag, they hit the mitts, and they move around the ring, but they don't show me anything different besides the pressure. Whether they're aggressive or not, whether they like to stick and move. But really, it's just, you want to sit there and bang, we can bang. You want to sit there and stick and move, we can stick and move. Like I said, I can sit there and I can adjust after a while.
So nobody showed you anything new or anything like that, because that gym has a little bit of a reputation. I don't know whether it's the same as when Floyd was active and trained there, because, you had all kind of fighters in there just wanting to train because Floyd trained there. But, the numerous times that I've been there, I've noticed, they got guys with all different types of styles. And, that's why I was impressed when I saw that you went there. Did you, when you chose to go to train at Mayweather Gym, did you go there trying to seek out the best work that you could get?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I didn't have a huge amateur career, so I had to sit there, and I had, even till now, I have to sit and do my research and reach out to people myself, or have the people helping me out, and reach out to people to get me to the best gym, to the best level that I can reach. But I've trained at Wild Card. I think I would say I got a lot more going to Wild Card down in California, LA, California, Hollywood, more than I did at TMT.
Okay.
Floyd Mayweather's Floyd Mayweather. He's got his people training him, so you're never going to see that kind of training unless you're talking Floyd Mayweather style.
Right.
I don't do the Philly shoulder roll. That's not my style. Anybody that wants to do it, they'll learn from they'll learn from their mistake. And that's just like I said, nowadays you gotta fight people that know the style and know how to go around that style to beat them. Canelo could have easily gone around that, but he didn't know what to do. He was never taught to step to the side, get him off, get him off guard, off balance.
Yeah, give him different angles and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
This may be a dumb question, but what's your end goal in boxing? What do you aspire to do? What's that look like for you?
Of course, my goal is to be a world champion, right? But not only that, I want to, show the kids that didn't have anything, that don't have anything, how to fight, how to defend themselves. At the end of the day, somebody that wants to, get bullied, they never find to go get bullied, right? People just want to bully, but nowadays you got to show people how to stick up for themselves. I wouldn't say boxing is the best way to stick up yourself, but just understanding some self-defense. So, teaching the people that don't know self-defense is probably a good route to go,
Right.
Especially in the world we live in today. Chicago is crazy, we were talking about that earlier. Man, Chicago, it's only going to get worse. Not even Chicago, but, L.A., L.A.'s known for Grand Theft Auto stuff, we've all played GTA. You know how it is. But of course, being a world champion is definitely is what we're doing now. We're in the making.
All right, that's great. That's great. Now, you explained your training schedule to us off camera. Now, you box 3 days a week, then you do your strength and conditioning 2 days a week.
Correct.
But that is when you are not preparing for a fight. Am I correct?
Yes, that I would say because when it's fight week or when we're getting serious for a big fight, of course more boxing, more tune-up needs to get done. Like I said, I didn't have a big amateur career, so if I'm fighting a southpaw, I got to sit there and I got to train with softball fighters, or my trainer has to act like a softball fighter. So for me to get adjusted to that, I can't just wake up and know how to be the best fighter against a softball.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's during off season. But I like to stick to the same schedule because I don't want to come down to a fight week and then be like, oh man, I changed up my my training style and stuff like that.
Yeah. So typically you box on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I think you said?
Yeah.
So out of those days, how many days do you spar?
Normally we like to get spar on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Of course, everybody knows Sam Colonna. I haven't gone there in a while. They just like to bang there. But when we get good guys, like I said, it's hard to find good sparring partners nowadays.
Yeah, Sam has great sparring on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Right.
There, so yeah.
So we're just Wednesdays and Saturdays are sparring days, and all the other days we try not to spar too much because every time you spar, anytime you get in the ring and you bang with somebody, whether it's just a light jab, you lose less of yourself.
That's true.
You don't have the same amount of brain cells you would have if you didn't get hit in the head.
Right.
So we don't like to get banged up too much because, of course, we can save that for the fight, and then we can go bang in the fight, because you never know what the other guy's playing, I mean, he might be a boxer, but if he decides that he needs to bang on me, he's going to have to try and bang on me.
Good point.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to let him, right? But, so that's the game plan there.
Yeah.
We're talking to Mario the Ghost Herrera here on the Parley. I guess the last thing we'll ask you, obviously, we want to know from a boxer himself, who's number one pound for pound in your eyes?
Man, it's hard to say. Everybody says Canelo, everybody says Terrence Crawford, but no one's really showing this right now. Canelo showed his things already back in this past year. He's still got some proving to do. Of course, everybody likes to pick and choose. If I truly believe somebody could be a pound for pound fighter, I would say Lomachenko. And Lomachenko doesn't get his credit. You know what I'm saying? He got his credit from when he first started. He was one of the only ones to get a world champion in I think it was 13 fights.
Yeah.
How the hell do you do that?
Right.
Hard work and dedication, right? 300 plus amateur fights. All this ballet school he did back at home and stuff like that. From his dad told him get out of here.
Yeah.
So I would say Lomachenko. But as of right now, from what is being shown on TV, social media, it's Canelo Alvarez. Is he a true pound for pound fighter? Questionable. But I think he is, he's fighting guys at all different weight classes.
He cleared the lightweight. I mean, he cleared all of them.
Right,
Took all the belts. And
like we said, he learned from, the Mayweather loss. He learned how to maneuver himself in his career. He's got his own promotion company, so he knows how the game works.
Knows the business, yeah.
That's that.
I got Canelo as my pound for pound number one because of what you just said, because he's going through all of the weight classes.
Right.
And I can't put Terrence Crawford, as many people have him there yet, because he's got to beat Errol Spence if I'm going to put him up at the top. I got also Inoue, the monster, who's a great fighter as well. But a guy who I think doesn't get enough credit that should get credit.
Tyson Fury? No, I'm just playing.
Oh, yeah, you go.
We're going to talk about Tyson.
Congratulations,
Tyson and Wilder.
Congratulations, Tyson, too, on your knockout win against Dillian White this past weekend. But Alexander Usyk.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyson Fury has said that he's done boxing at this point in all of his interviews after the fight this past weekend. But I think, the fight with Anthony Joshua is still there for him if he wants it. That's going to be a huge fight in Britain. Also, if the winner of Usyk and Joshua,
right.
Why not fight that, then retire? Okay?
Yeah. The question I have for you guys as, boxing critics, what makes a pound for pound fighter, Well, what do you guys see a pound for pound fighter as for what he does or how many belts he has? Because if you want to talk about pound for pound, look at the females. No one talks about the females. I got to give Jessica McCaskill her credit. She's not from Chicago, but she trains out of Chicago.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she's from St. Louis. The hard work she's gone. She's done
a tremendous job.
She's got. She's undisputed, right?
She is.
Does that make her a pound for pound fighter? I don't think so.
Right.
Can she be? Yes, but she has to fight all these women to be a pound for pound fighter.
That's true.
Like you said, Canelo Alvarez. He's doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How I judge pound for pound is, can that style, if say for instance we go back to Floyd, when Floyd was pound for pound, or Roy Jones Jr., can his style, if he were the same weight as everybody else in boxing, heavyweight, cruiserweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, all the way down, welterweights and lightweights, could that style beat everybody in the division?
Right.
And that's the way I judge pound for pound. I think Canelo's style, if Canelo was a heavyweight, he beat everybody. I think if he was welterweight, he beat everybody,
right.
Because of his style.
Yeah, and I think that being able to move out of your division, number one, and beating people is a qualification for me.
Right.
And people have done that. And then not only that, I mean, do you do the things in the fight that are necessary? Do you have that ring generalship? Are you beating guys, lethargically, or are you beating them convincingly, right?
Yeah.
Those things matter to me too. So, I mean, I think everybody in the top 5 deserve to be in the top 5 if we're ranking them.
Right.
It just depends on how that looks,
Right.
on paper. So, and what they do in the ring. But we'll do this real quick, and just a final question for you, because this just happened last week, and it's the biggest fight we have seen. I think that'll happen in the last 10 years. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Both have been going at it for 4 years or so, talking to each other more heatedly here in the last 2-3 years. We want to know from you, if this fight happens, and it should, who you got?
Like I was telling KG, if it does happen, I think Crawford's going to take it, because after the accident, I don't think Spence is the same person. For example, he didn't really show me a lot with Ugas. Like I told KG, I think Ugas got paid on the table to fight less. You know what I'm saying?
We mentioned that punch, right? The 1-2 he gave him after the mouthpiece.
Exactly.
He didn't jump on him. That was weird.
Exactly. And I get it. People get confused when the referee almost stopped it when his mouthpiece came out. So. But then he realized, it comes down to your reaction time. How much reaction time are you going to have? How much reaction time do you lose when taking so many punches, to the head,
Yeah, and it's interesting you should say that, because both Tony and I have said, we listen to the way Errol speaks now. And, we don't know whether that has something to do with the accident or not, but his speech is not like it was when he first started out.
Right.
And that happens to a lot of boxers.
He's been nonchalant. He's had that. He still has that.
He has a
before.
southern drawl and everything like that.
Yeah.
But he takes a lot of shots in his fights.
Right.
And we don't. I hope that because I'm an Errol Spence fan. I'm a Bud Crawford fan, but I'm more of an Errol Spence fan. I hope that he wins the fight when they eventually face each other. But he has plans to move up to 154. I hope Errol Spence retires after this fight.
Yeah.
I
hope we see it soon.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about earlier, Crawford, he just got off a lawsuit, with a top rank.
Yeah.
He's a free agent now. So the only way that will make that happen is if somebody can meet his, wants and needs, and if
how much you think they get paid for this fight? Both of them.
Man, we're talking millions, right?
It's got to be over 10 for sure.
Yeah, over 10. I would say near 100K a purse. There's always the person who wins gets an extra bonus.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Tyson Fury's purse plus the bonus? He made a good amount.
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous.
He made it
30-some million, right?
He made 34 mil. Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough to retire, right?
Oh yeah.
But if you truly love the sport, if you want to get back to the sport and this and that, you'll keep fighting after seeing X amount of money.
Right.
And that's why going back to who pound for pound best fighter, face of boxing, I gotta give it to Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
He does it with heart. He loves the sport, and he's been doing it for since he was 15.
Yeah.
And maybe even younger.
Right.
So Terrence.
I would say Crawford, yeah.
All right, it's on camera. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to you.
That's right.
For interview round 2. No, it's a pleasure having you here. We appreciate you being here on the Parley, and we wish you the best of luck in your next fight. Hopefully, it comes up very soon, as you mentioned.
We will be there.
And yeah, we will definitely be there to support and see how you do. No matter what, though, we thank you so much, and we hope to see you again.
Thank you guys for having me. If anybody wants to come out to the show May 7th, hopefully this is up and running by May 7th. Tickets are sold at Health Kick down in Morton Grove / Skokie off of Dempster Highway.
Okay.
Off of 9094. It's not too far. You can find that on my Instagram, Mario_Herrera 22. That's my IG.
We'll have it all in there for them. Don't worry.
We'll
make it look pretty.
We're gonna make it look good for you, man.
Yeah. So.
Awesome.
Hope to see you guys. You know, like I said, I'm just here training, and my 10-day wake up started. So I'm
All right, man. Stay hungry.
Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir. Absolutely. That's Mario, the Ghost Herrera, here on the Parley. Don't forget to visit us on social media. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. It's right there in the description. And KG, man, let's go. I want to box now. This guy's talking.
Yeah,
I want to get in the gym and just
he's got me juiced up, man. You know, giving
get
us
some pads or something.
giving us tips on how to rehydrate and all that stuff, man. That's what happens when you mess with the pros.
This guy's dope, man. This guy's dope. It's the Parley. What's up, guys? TLO from the Parley. Kendall Gill. If you like what you saw, follow, subscribe, visit us on our website, all that stuff. Do it. You know what I'm about to do right now, though?
What's that?
I'm about to go beat your record in 2K. 11 steals. 11 steals.
Just as long as you do it on 2K.
11 steals. Easy.
As long as you do it on 2K. Just don't do it on the court for real.
When I pull up on a hater, watch a hater fall back. I'm too good with these hands, watch a hater fall flat. If I die, all I know, I'm a fucking legend. It's so great for my city. I'm the realest one that's repping.